So the Honor 90 Lite is one of Honor's newest entry-level budget phones, boasting some great specs at about £200. But is it actually worth buying? Well, I've been using the phone on and off for a couple of weeks, and here is my full review. And just as a heads up, I've got other reviews coming up on the Honor 70 from last year and Motorola's G84 from about a month ago. So if you're getting a case of deja vu, I'll let you off, because the Honor 90 Lite shares a very similar design to Honor's X8A. Sporting the same sparkly back panel, flat sides and camera specs. Of course, the design of the camera is different, but houses the same 100 megapixel f1.9 primary, 5 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide and 2 megapixel f2.4 macro. There's also an LED flash to the right of the camera housing, and you also get the same buttons and ports, including the same power button with integrated fingerprint scanner, which is in a great spot at the side and is very responsive. Overall, the design of the phone is quite nice. It's very lightweight at just a shade under 180 grams. And overall, I do actually really like the design of this phone. Then up front, you have the same 6.7 inch 90Hz 1080p IPS LCD display. And I really like this display. Despite not being the most vibrant, at a near 90% screen to body ratio, it actually makes the experience a lot more premium than the price would suggest. The bezels are super thin, except the one on the bottom, which is a bit thicker, but that is the same with a lot of budget phones. And the only protrusion on the display is the punch hole cutout, which houses the 16 megapixel f2.5 selfie camera. And yes, you guessed it, this is the same camera found on the X8A and even last year's Honor X8. So aesthetically, at least to me, the phone looks a lot more premium than the price would suggest, but there are areas that of course Honor had to cut back on, and for a start, performance. The Honor 90 Lite packs the MediaTek Dimensity 6020 5G processor, announced in March this year, built on a 7nm architecture. And raw performance is on par with the Snapdragon 695 processor released a couple of years ago, which is fine, but it's not the best by any stretch. The phone will struggle with high intensity games, so dialing down the settings would make for a smoother experience. But my overall experience using the Honor 90 Lite has been great. Apps open instantly, photos process really quickly, and the 8GB of onboard RAM helps with multitasking. And the lack of expandable storage isn't too bad, considering the phone comes with 256 gigs of storage, which is plenty for your music, your photos and your games, etc. And as for software on the Honor 90 Lite, you get Magic UI version 7.1 on top of Android 13. And this offers plenty of features, including a plethora of options to customize your phone with wallpapers, changing icons and your themes. There's also NFC for all your contactless payments, Honor Share for wirelessly sharing files with other Honor devices, and Android Auto. And the battery life on the Honor 90 Lite has been absolutely great. The 4500 mAh battery, while smaller than a lot of other rivals, offers all-day battery life with no problems. The lower power draw from the Dimensity chip helps with this efficiency, and on the off chance you do kill the phone in a day, the phone supports 22.5 watt fast charging, which can give you 50% in 30 minutes, but this isn't included in the box. And lastly, onto the camera, and unsurprisingly, my experience is basically exactly the same as what I use on the Honor X8A. Photos overall don't come out as impressive as competitors. Whilst detail is pretty good, fine areas don't come out great, and colour reproduction is on the dull side. That's not to say the photos are bad, but I do find that photos coming from competitors like Samsung and Motorola, at least to me, come out looking a little bit better. And unfortunately, the ultra-wide is worse. 5 megapixels is of course a low resolution, and unsurprisingly, the photos don't have much detail or colour, and fine areas are a smudgy mess, which don't come as a surprise. And video tops out at 1080p at 30 FPS from the main camera, and this is just bog standard video, perfectly fine for home movies, etc., but not anything more. And the 16 megapixel selfie camera takes some pretty decent photos. There's good amounts of detail, more so that I've found on other budget honoured phones. And portrait mode does a pretty good job with subject separation, and video tops out at 1080p at 30 FPS on the selfie camera as it does on the main. So that's my quick look at the Honor 90 Lite. Overall, I really like this phone. It's got a really sleek, modern design, a really nice display, good performance, and great battery life. Of course, the downsides for me are the usual, the camera performance. Whilst the main camera does take pretty good photos, the ultra-wide just isn't on par with competitors. There are plenty of others that have much better ultra-wide cameras. But of course, do let me know down in the comments what you think of the Honor 90 Lite. Is it a phone that you would consider buying, or is it one that you own already? Let me know down in the comments, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video and you want more videos like this. Like I said, I've got plenty more on the way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.